Imagine waking up to a headline that says your job could disappear overnight. Not because of budget cuts at your company, not because of layoffs in the private sector, but because the government itself has shut down and the President of the United States has openly threatened mass firings. For hundreds of thousands of families across America, that isn't some far-fetched political thriller. It's the reality of this government shutdown disaster. And what makes it even more alarming is that the threat this time isn't just temporary furloughs. It's the possibility of permanent job losses on a scale the country has never seen before. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I want you to pay close attention, because what I'm about to explain affects every single American. Whether you work for the federal government, rely on government services, or just depend on the economy staying stable enough to keep your paycheck flowing. Today, we're going to break down this shutdown like a full product review, looking at the exterior image, the interior reality, the performance of the system, the safety features that should protect us, the unique selling points that are being marketed, the price being paid, and finally, the conclusion on what this means for the future. And trust me, by the end, you'll understand why so many are calling this the most dangerous shutdown in U.S. history. On the outside, the exterior of this shutdown looks like a political standoff we've seen before. Congress can't agree on a spending bill, the government runs out of funding, and agencies begin shutting their doors. Headlines blare across the news, shutdown crisis deepens. Politicians on both sides trade blame. From a distance, it almost looks like theater. The kind of fight Washington has every few years, where each side postures, holds out, and eventually strikes a deal. The exterior image is one of strength for the administration. Trump projecting toughness, saying he won't bend, and using the shutdown as a weapon to force concessions. The optics are dramatic, big threats, bold language, and a narrative of control. But just like a car that shines on the outside but hides rust underneath, the closer you look at the reality of this shutdown, the more dangerous it becomes. Step inside and the interior is bleak. Federal workers are the first to feel the pain. Paychecks are frozen. Employees are furloughed. Offices that should be buzzing with activity are dark and empty. For those still required to work without pay, like TSA agents, air traffic controllers, and border patrol officers, the stress is suffocating. Imagine going to work every day knowing you won't be paid, with no guarantee of when that paycheck will return. For many, savings accounts run dry in weeks, not months. Parents start rationing groceries, skipping family outings, and cutting every unnecessary expense. Families who thought their government jobs offered stability and security are suddenly facing the terrifying possibility that those jobs may not exist when the shutdown ends. The interior feels hollowed out, unstable, and unsafe. Next, let's look at performance. A government shutdown is not a simple pause button. When federal operations slow down or stop, the effects ripple everywhere. Passport and visa applications are delayed, creating backlogs that affect businesses, families, and travel. National parks close their gates, disappointing travelers and hurting local economies that rely on tourism. Public health inspections are reduced, leaving gaps in food safety. Scientific research grinds to a halt. Infrastructure projects stall. Federal courts run on limited staff. Even emergency management operations can be delayed, making disaster response less effective. The economy itself begins to sputter. Every day that workers go unpaid, consumer spending declines. Businesses that depend on federal contracts see projects halted. And when markets see the United States government unable to function smoothly, investor confidence weakens. Add in Trump's threat of permanent mass firings, and performance goes from bad to catastrophic. It's no longer just about weathering a temporary storm. It's about the possibility of dismantling entire functions of government for good. Now let's talk safety features. In a car, safety features like airbags and seatbelts are designed to protect you in a crash. In government, safety features are the programs and systems designed to protect citizens from economic disaster when politics fail. Normally, federal workers can rely on back pay when the shutdown ends. Unemployment insurance can sometimes help, though the process is complicated. Emergency funds can be tapped in extreme cases. But in this shutdown, those safety features are failing. First, there's no guarantee of when or if workers will get paid back. Second, unemployment benefits are slow, confusing, and in many cases don't cover federal employees who are technically still employed, but unpaid. Third, when the president threatens to fire workers outright, those safety nets disappear completely. How do you recover from a layoff when the reason isn't your performance, but politics? How do you plan for the future when your employer is signaling that your job is expendable? It's like driving a car downhill with the airbags removed and the brakes failing. You're left completely exposed. So why is this happening? What are the unique selling points being offered? For Trump and his allies, the message is that this shutdown is about strength and control. It's about forcing Congress to cut spending, about protecting taxpayers from what they call bloated government waste, and about reshaping the federal workforce into something leaner and more efficient. The shutdown is marketed as tough love, painful now, but supposedly beneficial later. That's the sales pitch. But just like a product that looks great in ads and falls apart the moment you try it, the reality doesn't match the marketing. Families losing paychecks aren't seeing strength, they're seeing betrayal. Communities losing millions in local income aren't seeing reform, they're seeing collapse. And workers hearing threats of mass firings aren't hearing efficiency, they're hearing fear. The unique selling point is control. But what's actually being sold is instability, chaos, and destruction of trust. And then comes the most important factor of all, the price. Every day this shutdown drags on, the price tag grows higher. The economy loses billions in productivity. Families fall behind on rent, mortgages, and credit card payments. Credit scores drop, savings accounts are drained, and stress levels rise. Businesses tied to federal contracts start laying off their own workers. Communities around federal facilities see restaurants, shops, and services lose customers. And the price isn't just financial, it's human. Children see parents stressed and exhausted. Couples fight over money. Workers who have given years of service to their country feel abandoned and discarded. And with the threat of permanent firings, the cost skyrockets, because now we're talking about not just temporary disruption, but permanent destruction of careers, knowledge, and livelihoods. You can put a dollar amount on lost wages, but you can't measure the toll of fear, stress, and broken trust. The long-term costs may be even worse. Government workers who lose their jobs won't be easily replaced. Many have specialized skills and years of experience that can't be rebuilt quickly. Once that talent is gone, government functions slow down permanently. Projects delayed today may take years longer and cost billions more to finish. Communities that lose a stable base of federal employment may never fully recover. And the damage to public trust. The idea that government jobs are stable, that your paycheck will arrive, that your country values your service, may never be restored. Once people see that their livelihood can be used as a bargaining chip, the faith in the system erodes. That's a price that will echo for generations. So what's the final verdict? If we were to review this shutdown as if it were a product, it would fail in every category. The exterior looks dramatic and strong, but it's only an image. The interior is gutted, filled with fear and instability. The performance is failing across the board, with the economy slowing and services breaking down. The safety features that should protect workers are weak and ineffective. The unique selling points don't hold up to reality, and the price, both financial and human, is far too high. This isn't reform, it isn't strength, it isn't leadership, it's a disaster. And that's the truth of the government shutdown disaster. Trump plans mass firings. The most important thing to remember is that this isn't just about Washington politics. It's about real people, real families, and real futures being put at risk for the sake of political leverage. While leaders argue and posture, it's everyday Americans who are paying the price. The question we all need to ask is not just how long this shutdown will last, but how much permanent damage will remain long after the government reopens. I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a real conversation. And if you want more clear breakdowns of complex world events, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thanks for watching and stay informed.